Welcome to one of the great universities of the world. Throughout its history, the California Institute of Technology has ventured into unexplored realms, defining new fields in science and engineering, and pushing interdisciplinary boundaries in the service of discovery. We are fearless in attacking large and important problems at scale, from the nature of the chemical bond, to the detection of gravitational waves, to the structure of the brain. Caltech's commitment to scientific leadership is notably expressed in the fabrication and operation of instrumentation that reveals nature in unexpected dimensions, whether through the world's largest telescopes, rovers sampling sedimentary rocks on Mars, planetary probes hurtling into interstellar space, a seismological network to provide early earthquake warnings, or the harnessing of the human immune system to treat disease. The fearlessness and shared ambition of your new intellectual community aligns and knits together Caltech students, faculty, and staff. Together, we work to set the example what every person can accomplish, from the laboratory bench to the hospital bedside, from the classroom to the International Space Station, from Wall Street to Silicon Valley. Commencement speeches, claimed cartoonist Gary Trudeau, were invented largely in the belief that outgoing college students should never be released into the world until they have been properly sedated. By contrast, convocation speeches offer the opportunity to awaken entering students to the manifold opportunities offered in their new academic setting. The opportunities resound, even in this unusual year, but seizing those opportunities will present special challenges. In this welcome, I should like to offer a few guideposts along the road of your explorations. In this last half year, Caltech faculty, students, and staff have weathered the coronavirus whirlwind together. We have learned that even in separation, community can triumph. You will be part of an extraordinarily diverse group of students drawn from essentially every state in the U.S. and from scores of different countries around the world. A heterogeneous assembly of scholars, students, and faculty alike necessarily brings to bear a broad range of perspectives and methodologies to the problems of the day and of the ages. This diverse population of scholars, namely you, your peers, and your teachers, must be nurtured in an environment in which you are free to express your ideas boldly and fully, and have those ideas challenged and rebutted, shaped and honed. A commitment to data-driven inquiry, a belief in the primacy of truth, and the experience of enlarging your world intellectually and socially leads to transformation. You will face, however, the normal human tendency to narrow your world and seek comfort through closest association with those who look like you and think like you. Your first challenge, then, is to venture outside the comfort zone of the familiar. Find others, faculty, students, and staff alike, who will test and sharpen your ideas. There is an old proverb that if a book falls from a high shelf and hits you on the head and makes an empty sound, then it may not be the fault of the book. You will crack open many books as you master the intricacies of science and engineering, but a full, resonant education requires much more. You need to move beyond simple coursework and delve deeply into a subject at the boundaries of discovery, an opportunity afforded by performing research, both in the summer through SURF and an industrial internship, and throughout the year. You need to understand other cultures and perspectives, perhaps firsthand through study abroad in the years to come. Virtually, and as soon as it's safe to do so in person, you need to take advantage of theater and art and music on campus. A humanistic education helps us to function as life thrusts us into situations where we have to conceive problems outside of the structures that define them. What better description of the moment we face now? It provides us with an elasticity of thought and familiarity of experience not fully our own, while challenging us to define the essence of what we believe. The physics Nobel laureate Dennis Gabor noted, "The future cannot be predicted, but futures can be invented." You are about to enter into a world rich in tradition and profoundly connected to the greatest achievements of humanity. It is the start of a lifelong relationship with Caltech that will evolve and deepen as you progress from students to alumni. Most exciting, it is a dynamic world that is ready to be sculpted by the power of your ideas. I wish you the joy of discovery as you commence your journey. And now, an out-of-the-world video greeting.
Hello from the International Space Station. I'm NASA astronaut and Caltech alum Bob Benken. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to be a part of history. I launched on SpaceX's first human spaceflight and was pushed into orbit by the Falcon 9 rocket. This test flight of the Crew Dragon spacecraft also marked the first time NASA astronauts have traveled on a commercial vehicle. As I record this message, I'm orbiting 250 miles above the Earth's surface in what's scheduled to be my final week here in low Earth orbit. When I started at Caltech, like you all are starting your journey today, I didn't realize how far my education could take me. I certainly did not expect all the way into space to assemble and use this orbiting laboratory. But being here, I am reminded of, and want to emphasize for each of you, the incredible opportunities and possibilities that stand before you and those around you. Caltech will teach you to solve problems, to invent solutions and technologies that don't exist, to try new things, to embrace new strategies and perspectives, and ultimately, to dare the impossible. You will not only become experts in your field, but you will also develop an understanding of other disciplines to encourage creativity as you address the problems before you. Throughout your time here at Caltech, I encourage you to ask questions, to challenge the expected, and to embrace this community of students, researchers, and scholars that you have the fortune of joining. I also wish you the best throughout your journey, both at Caltech and through life. And I look forward to seeing the dreams you accomplish and being astonished by how far you go. All the best from the International Space Station.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, President Rosenbaum, for providing our newest students and postdocs with so inspirational a welcome to our truly remarkable community. I'm Kevin Gilmartin, currently Vice President for Student Affairs and for many years Professor of English at Caltech. It's my pleasure to be among the first to welcome you to Caltech, a place that has provided me with an extraordinary intellectual home, and where I've had the privilege of working with many students over the years who have themselves been challenged and rewarded by the opportunities Caltech provides. Currently, those opportunities are for the most part presented in virtual terms, and we do still look forward to welcoming many of you to join us on campus. But I have been struck in working with faculty, staff, and student leaders over the past several months at how quickly our community has pivoted to meet the challenges and constraints of a global pandemic. In many ways, this is no surprise, since as President Rosenbaum suggested, we are a learning and research community premised on a fearless determination to confront the most challenging problems. All of you were drawn here by the singular excellence of our STEM research and learning programs. Many, however, were also attracted by other dimensions of our community. And what's important too, many of you will discover these now that you're here. they'll contribute meaningfully to your learning and personal development. I come from what I firmly believe is one of our hidden gems, a gifted and committed humanities, teaching, and research faculty. There are others, of course, and through orientation, you'll soon be introduced to the music, theater, athletic, and club programs that enrich our lives at Caltech. Today, though, you're going to have the chance to learn about the Caltech Y, another campus gem that offers opportunities and programs beyond the classroom and the lab. Founded by students in 1916, the Y has since then enriched the lives of many generations of Caltech students through a variety of programs and services that are still initiated and directed by student leaders. Important among these programs, as you'll learn, is the RISE after-school math and science tutoring service. So at this point, I'm going to hand the convocation program over to the Caltech Y. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Caltech. I'm Laura, a senior studying computer science and English, and I'm the current student ex-con president of the Caltech Y. The Caltech Y was founded over 100 years ago to provide programs for students by students. This spirit lives on today as students continue to step into leadership and coordinate programming. The Caltech Y is here to enrich your student experience and support your growth as an engaged citizen of the world. The Caltech Y's pillars are leadership, service, civic engagement, adventure, and perspective. We provide diverse programs across these pillars with the Social Activism Speaker Series, outdoor adventures, cultural events, social activities, and community service programs. One such program is the RISE tutoring program, which you'll hear more about later. I first found out about the Caltech Y in my freshman year, and soon afterwards, I got involved with planning Explore LA events. I joined the Student XCOM, which is the Y's student leadership group, charged with working with staff to oversee, coordinate, and implement the Y's programs. The Y has been an integral part of my college experience as a way to recharge and grow outside of academics. Through the Caltech Y, I've been able to engage in tech policy discussions in Silicon Valley, be culturally immersed in India, paint cars with kids, attend musicals, and much, much more. In the remote setting, the Caltech Y has adapted with online tutoring, special speaker webinars, and other virtual programming. I encourage you to check out the Caltech Y website to learn more about our wide variety of programs and how you can get involved. Feel free to email caltechy@caltech.edu if you have any questions, and we look forward to meeting you again in person. Now we'll watch a video of various students sharing about their experiences with the Caltech Y, and you'll hear more about the RISE tutoring program.
With the Caltech Y, I've been camping and backpacking in Yosemite National Park.
I've done the LA River Cleanup, an LA Galaxy match,
dozens of student activism speaker series talks,
a Zoo Lights visit, the Color Run,
RISE tutoring, and Make a Difference Day.
I've participated in the India Cultural Trip, World Fest,
stargazing in Joshua Tree,
the Annesburgo camping trip, and MLK Week Talks.
I visited Geneva, Switzerland, and DC to learn about science policy.
I've organized an MLK Service Day event,
the LA Lakers games,
and Kids Reading to Succeed.
The Y helped me remember that there was so much more out there in the world than the Caltech campus.
The Y has allowed me to meet a lot of people outside my graduate cohort and create a community of people who share my interests.
The Y seem to have the most opportunities to escape from academics for a bit, and the people there are like a big family.
The Y not only provided a community, but also provided resources like gear rentals, trips, education, and talks to help get me outdoors.
The Caltech Y is an outlet for me in which I'm able to contribute to the community and experience new things outside of my comfort zone. It helped me broaden my horizons.
No matter how my week was going, RISE always served as a welcome respite where I felt I was doing something meaningful and fun.
I think being able to connect to and serve the community was the greatest highlight of being involved with the Caltech Y. My experience at Caltech was made richer by the Y.
It's way too easy to get lost in academics and school activities and forget that we all have a role to play in our broader communities. And being involved with the Y helped pull me away from that insular mindset.
I have become increasingly interested in politics and activism. The Caltech Y Student Activism Speaker Series has allowed me to have numerous discussions about the many ways in which policy shapes people's experiences at Caltech, as well as communities throughout the United States.
From working with fellow students to organize the Geneva Global Policy Trip, I learned the value in fun and dedicated work towards a common goal. From speaking with expert policymakers and scientists, I learned that we really can make a tangible global impact.
Y programs allowed me to continue my passions for community outreach and education, as well as explore new activities.
The Y has really become an integral part of my experience at Caltech. It's both a source of new exploration and an opportunity to step back from my ever-present role as a researcher and still engage with my community on campus.
The Caltech Y was instrumental in my realization that Caltech was a place where I could belong, where I could meet other people who shared my seemingly uncommon interests and take advantage of incredible opportunities.
We are the Caltech Y, making a world of difference.
I'm Liz Jackman. I'm the director of the RISE tutoring program. The RISE program has been on Caltech's campus for almost 15 years. The RISE program is an after-school math and science tutoring program. We serve Pasadena Unified School District students that are in 8th to 12th grades and are struggling in math or science. The goal of the RISE program is to give students a solid foundation in math and science so that they can go on and do well in their college-level courses. The strength of the RISE program is that tutors are matched with a student and they work with that same student at each session. So it's an opportunity to build really meaningful relationships and to be a tutor as well as a mentor. You also get to see your students' growth and progress over the year. This is the part that I love most about the RISE program, is being able to see these relationships grow. And this is Alondra Flores. She's one of our RISE program graduates, and she invited both of her tutors to her high school graduation, and they both came. This is Tess and Zoila, graduate students, and so Alondra Flores said, "The RISE program is why I'm going to college. It gave me confidence in how I learn." Alondra Flores recently graduated from Mount St. Mary's with a degree in psychology. Tutoring in the RISE program is offered 4 days a week. Typically, we're on Caltech's campus and at Muir High School. For the fall, we're fully remote, and volunteers have an opportunity to volunteer from any state in the US or even out of the country. The RISE program has grown tremendously through the years, and last year we saw a huge increase in tutors, largely due to the pandemic and Caltech volunteers wanting to contribute to the situation. Because of the tremendous response of tutors, we were able to enroll a lot more students. We had almost triple the students from the previous year. This enabled us to start a new program called Y Tutor. Y Tutor is an online drop-in program that started in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. It offers a flexible schedule for students and tutors, so if you're interested in the RISE program but not sure if you can make the regular commitment that RISE requires, Y Tutor may be a good fit. It's also allowed us to start some really exciting community partnerships. For the fall, we're working with Pasadena City College MESA program, the Upward Bound program, as well as the Flint Ridge Center. And all of our programs serve primarily first-generation low-income students, many with a focus on STEM. So this is a great collaboration for our Caltech volunteers. I really see the RISE program as a win-win. Tutors are able to serve in the community, and it's really challenging to find a tutor, especially in these high-level math and science classes, and it's expensive. So this is a valuable resource that Caltech volunteers are able to offer. For the tutors, it's a rewarding experience, and they're able to improve important skills. According to surveys, tutors felt the RISE program contributed to their knowledge and skills in the following ways: teaching methods, communication, mentoring, and relating well to diverse backgrounds. This is our tutor, Stephanie Treat. She's a long-term program, and she illustrates that point well. She said, "Throughout my 5 years as a RISE tutor, I was able to form really meaningful relationships with my tutees, which allowed me to continually improve my ability to communicate scientific and mathematical topics." She went on to say that it was also just a lot of fun. So if you'd like more information about the RISE program or Y Tutor, please visit our website at caltechy.org. We're still accepting new tutors and students. And here are some pictures of our RISE graduates over the years and where they're going to college now. Next, we're going to share a short video with more information about the RISE program, and you'll also hear from 2 tutors and their experience.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Caltech. My name is Cam Bazard, and I'm a 5th year grad student working with Professor Blake in planetary science. I was asked to share with you a bit about my experience as a tutor with the RISE program, and I'm really so happy to be here to be able to share this program with you. I've been tutoring with RISE for my whole time at Caltech, except maybe that first term, because as I'm sure you're already finding, the first term can be a bit overwhelming. One of the things that I really love about RISE is that Liz and Marta, who run the program, they really do a good job of keeping you with the same students from semester to semester so that you can form bonds with your kids and watch them grow up. One of the students I'm working with now, for instance, he started in 8th grade with me, and now he's a high school senior. And that's really exciting because over that time, not only have I been able to learn about his life and hear about him, but he's also been interested in my work and my research in astronomy over the years, which is really cool for me to be able to share with him. Because I've been working with the same kids for a while, I've been really able to see how things that they used to struggle with a lot a few years ago come really naturally to them now. Part of that is the first time that these high school students are learning a new concept in math, they can really super focus on just that one type of problem and have trouble understanding how it relates to all different sorts of problems that they've worked on before. And so a fun story about this is that last year was the year that my kids were going to be taught the unit circle. And from the very beginning of the year, they were coming to tutoring and telling me all these stories about how horrible the unit circle is and how they actually knew someone in the year ahead of them who had passed out during class because he was so frightened of the unit circle. But once we actually got there, I was able to show them, hey, we've been doing sines and cosines this whole time, just with triangles. It's really the same thing here, just on a circle. And so my students could really understand the unit circle in the context of things that they really understood well and we spent a lot of time working on before. And I got to hear my students say things like, wow, look how this all comes together. This isn't so bad after all, which is really fun to watch. And another thing is that sometimes you'll work with students who can be really hard on themselves and really, and they'll say things to you like, oh, I can't do this. I'm just so bad at math. And I think that we're in a really unique and great position where we can support them and be a really positive mentor in their lives, which is really great, especially once you've formed a relationship for a while with a student. You can be there to tell them, even I as a Caltech grad student have trouble with math sometimes. It's not you're not stupid. It's just sometimes math is hard. And in that way, we can sort of help them with their self-esteem and help them look for different ways of problem solving rather than just thinking that they're bad at math or that they're stupid. And so from all of this, from the actual tutoring within the RISE program to just being able to hang out with the students and hear about their really dramatic high school gossip stories and their plans for college and all about their lives. All of this has really made RISE one of my favorite things to do at Caltech. I like to save it for Thursday afternoons because it gives me a chance to look forward to something at the end of the week, something fun at the end of the week.
Hi everyone, I'm Melba Newson, a rising junior studying computer science in Avery House. I've been tutoring with the RISE program for the last 2 years, and I'd love to share some of my experiences with the program with you today. So starting from the beginning, I began tutoring with the program first term of my freshman year, and this was because I had heard really good things about the program from upperclassmen in my rotation group, and I really wanted to get involved in some extracurricular activities on campus. And looking back at it, I'm really glad that I made that decision because tutoring with the RISE program and working with the RISE students has definitely been a highlight in my time at Caltech so far. The students that I work with are always really excited to learn and try their best, whether that be in a homework assignment, whether it be studying for a pop quiz, or maybe preparing for a final AP exam. As I'm matching this energy that my students bring in, not only am I giving back to the community, but I'm also learning about myself through the process as well. So I'm teaching them, but they're also teaching me. And we work together to figure out the best ways to communicate with one another. And I have to make sure that I know my content really well to be able to simplify and break down these big ideas so that I can explain it to them. So while I'm sharing what I've learned, I'm also practicing my own communication skills and my teaching skills as my students and I are learning and growing together. So every week they come in and we chat together, we work on homework together, and over the course of the year, we get to know each other over the course of all these months. So that when things accumulate at the end of the year, it's nice to take a step back and look at all that we've accomplished together. It's really gratifying to me as a tutor, seeing how much I've helped these students and seeing my impact on them. But it's also really gratifying for the students as well, as they look back and they see what all that they have accomplished and see how far they've come because of this tutoring program. I could dive a lot more into stories and some more details, but suffice to say that I've learned a lot and I've really benefited from this program while I'm helping others out as well. One final thing that I'd like to touch on is the fact that this RISE tutoring program gives me perspective. What I mean by that is Caltech is a special place, as I'm sure you already know or you'll soon find out. As classes begin to ramp up, as you start getting involved with research and talking to professors and peers around you. With all of those great things in mind, the RISE tutoring program gives me some time to step away from all of that. Even if it's just for a few hours a week, it's nice to get some perspective and step outside of the bubble that we're in. And so as classes do start to ramp up, and as you do start getting involved with research and talking to professors and peers around you, be sure to keep that in mind and seek out these opportunities, whether it be through the Caltech Y, whether it be through the RISE tutoring program, or any other activities, it's nice to have something that'll ground you and let you take a step back and have some perspective once in a while. With that being said, thank you for listening and welcome to Caltech.
Hi everyone, my name is Athena Castro and I'm the Executive Director of the Caltech Y. I want to add my welcome along with everyone else's. I hope you enjoyed hearing from Y students and learning more about the Caltech Y. We're thrilled that you've chosen to come to Caltech. Although this is not how any of us anticipated starting the beginning of the school year, I want you to know that we're excited to start the year with you. Yes, it will be a different year, but it can still be great and it will still be meaningful. Everyone at Caltech and all of us at the Caltech Y are committed to ensuring that you have an array of opportunities with which to get involved to help you make the most out of your Caltech experience. As you heard from students, Y programs are student-led from conception to implementation. In the process, students find community, engage their passions and interests, learn about themselves and the world around them, and have fun. Last year, the Caltech Y produced more than 75 programs, all with the support, ideas, and hard work of student leaders. In the end, it's really more than about the programs, although those are great too. The Y is about enriching student life and challenging students to grow into responsible citizens of the world. That is our mission. And at the core of our mission is students and cultivating student leaders. The Caltech Y was founded in 1916 by students for students, and today, students continue to be the heart and soul of the Caltech Y. So I do hope you participate in the program, come to a talk, volunteer for RISE, or come to a meeting to share your ideas along with other students. Come check us out. Immediately following Convocation, we will host a live Zoom session so you can find out more about how you can get involved and meet some of our student leaders. Who knows? Maybe next year you'll be among the student leaders talking about your Y experience with others. You can find the link below or on the Convocation website. We hope you join us. Thank you, and I'll see you there.